Hi there, it's Jenny Penton with Planner Perfect, and I coach women how to write a better story through the power of scripting. And in today's video, it's another plan with me. Stay tuned. Okay, girls, in this video, it is going to be me planning in real time for the Father's Day weekend. And it's a pretty big weekend and it's pretty packed. There's a lot of things going on. Scripting is vital for your success. Not only does it help you understand what you want and therefore knowing what you don't want, but it helps create a flow to your life, that just a flow so you can be creative and know and get ideas of what you want to do, some things you want to implement, a new routine, a new way of doing things. It creates introspection of things you need to change, things you need to do. So I'm going to be teaching and showing you throughout my planning session here today over the whole weekend about just how my mind works and how I go about planning. It's something that the reason why scripting is so powerful is because of its advantage it has over simply writing down a list of things you think you got to do, because it creates more of a life that's 110%, because you're creative and you're choreographing things so that you can get it done. A lot of times we think of different things that we want to do and implement, but then life gets in the way. Basically, though, when you go to plan your life, and you're really choreographing through all of the different scenarios and things that can happen. And of course, things can pop up and things can change, but that's going to be more the exception than the rule. And when I go through my day and things that I want to do, I really take into account everything. What about kids that are hungry? What about dinner? What about special diets? What about how can I get my exercise in? How can I eat well? And you become to know yourself more. You know your why, you know how, and you know what you want and you know what you don't want. To live a life that's successful and to live a life without overwhelm and to live a life that's less stressful would be to know what you want. And a lot of people do not know even what they want, like don't even know what they want. And all that it takes, if they just knew that the time that is so valuable to create a life and to be thinking about things through for the week gives you such an edge that without it, it's just, your life is headed in it's just a hamster wheel where you're going in one place and then you're taking life as it comes and then you have to react. Your life is just one big reaction versus being in the driver's seat, knowing where you're going, you know when to say no, when to say yes, you know what you're doing, you know how you're doing it, you know why you're doing it, and your life is definitely set up with purpose and intent. And God will bless the work of your hands, but you have to know what you want and you have to know why you're doing it. And scripting, the scripting is very, very powerful and will get you there. So here is my plan with me over the weekend, starting Thursday through Sunday in real time. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, guys, let's get started with my plan for the weekend, basically over Father's Day. So, again, loving the dot grid. It is rocking my world. Grabbing all my stickers that I have, some from May as well, just kind of grabbing all of it. I'm in Summer A5. Loving that as well for right now. Gonna adorn some stickers. This is for today, which is actually Thursday. Since having babies in the beginning of the week, I'm really now hunkering down and getting all my plans down for the week. And writing down just, what time I want. Now here I'm going to sleep in a little bit longer than 5:30. So I sit and sleep until 6:30, which has been kind of great. I just naturally wake up at that time. And right around in the morning, I'll get up, I go outside, I have my iodine, I do my devotions, and then I'll grab this collagen. It's from Primal Kitchen. It's the one that doesn't have any natural flavors in it. It's all clean. So, and then I add cacao powder to it as well, organic cacao, and then I add just a little bit of stevia. There's monk fruit in the Primal Kitchen one, but when you add the cacao, it really makes it just a little too bitter. So I add a little bit of stevia, add my hot water, and then I add a little bit of Kelowna organic whipping cream, just a little dollop. And it's like the best thing in the world because I was switching over from Vital, I want to say Vital Farms, but that's not it, Vital Protein. And that one has natural flavors, and I can see why, because it's really, really delicious. It actually tastes like hot cocoa. So because I do no caffeine, no coffee now, this is kind of my delicious drink that I have, and it's good for me too. So I zhuzh it up and check it out. It's so good. So now I'm ready to get back to my planning. So the rest of my morning, I'm actually planning in real time. This is me planning my today, because last night we were busy. We went to a movie, I had my grandkids, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm really hunkering down. What I have for breakfast for the kids this morning, I made a big, huge, this is a double loaf of bread into a braid. So it's for French toast, it's for sandwiches, it's for eggs and toast, it's paninis, it's whatever you want. So I love that. And it's pretty amazing. So I love to write down all the options that I have for them for breakfast, and that was one of them. So yeah, I give my kids some options for their breakfast and of what I made for them, and also the cinnamon rolls that I made up yesterday. So there's still more of that option, and so it's actually perfect. We are going to take the day off today and go boating. So kind of writing down what I want to have done and what I want to do. I also have some banana bread. I need to throw that in there. I have banana bread even. So and then for the boat, I want to write down some of the snacks I want for the boys. And so I've got popcorn, oranges, and some of these grain-free cookies I'm going to bring. And then just like I write down ideas. I'm scripting. So I'm like, shower or not? Should I go? Or maybe I should even go on a bike ride before we go. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. So before I go in the morning, I'm not even going to shower. I'm going to be going on the boat anyways. So I'm just going to go for a bike ride first, since I'm a biker. I don't know if you saw my stories, but I got a new bike and I'm like completely hooked. So I'm going to go for a bike ride first, then get on my swimsuit and get on the lake. So I've already done some of my morning chores. Of course, I'm writing all that down. So I want the house spotless before I go. And I write down here, then at 1, eat lunch before we go, kind of what I'm going to do for lunch before we go, so we're not hungry right out of the gate. Make sure before we hit the road that my laundry is folded, everything's done, my bed is made, the boys have done their chores, and feed everyone a nice lunch, which is just sandwiches. So turkey and all that, turkey sandwiches with that yummy braided bread. And so just kind of checking over my calendar, like what are we doing, what's going on, should we go camping this next week, and yelling out to my husband and all that. So I know, sorry you can't see me here, I was out of picture. I'm writing down Blaine water the flower pots before we go. And that way, they're not going to overheat. It's going to be about 90 degrees today, so that's part of his chores. And so just really rethinking how I want to do things. And I'll even just say, I'll write out plan A, plan Bs, and then all of it kind of just comes together as I write. So not only is having time to just really think, but also just, course correcting on my planning page. I mean, talk about being able to have that kind of a room, like, should I do this? Should I do that? Yes, 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 yes. I'm going to go ahead and do this. So this weekend is going to be really, really busy. It's Father's Day. It's a lot of great temperatures. John loves boating, so I really want to make sure that we're doing some fun things. But this is also crunch time for me, because this is when I paint for August, and it has to be this weekend. So trying to fit this in and get all my sketching done and painting done with my theme and what I'm going to do for the accessories, it's game on. So I've really got to be strategic, which I'd have to say, I have to be strategic with about 100% of my life anyways, if I want to succeed in the goals I have.
So that's what I have to do. And not to mention, just when you have responsibilities with other children and other lives, it's even more of intentions and choreography that you got to do. So here I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and make sure I've got swimsuits packed, towels, get one more load of laundry in if I need to before we head out and turn it on. So it's kind of what, and then I'm thinking in my mind as I'm writing, it's like, what am I going to do for dinner when we get home? Well, good news, because last night I was going to do hamburgers before the Spider-Man movie, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to have them eat fruit and popcorn. They can have popcorn at the movies and have some fruit. That's their dinner. And if they want to come home and have a little slice of banana bread before they go to bed, fine. So that was easy, but I had already pre-made all of these hamburger patties and I put them in the fridge. And so it's perfect because now I have them ready for it when we get back from boating. Dinner is in the bag. So all I got to do though, and I'd have to say, there is a lot of intentions to be had when you are grain-free and you're really watching your children's and yourself and your diet, is that I only will use ancient grains, so no modern wheat is allowed. And so I need to whip up some dough when I get home and make sure we get home at a reasonable time before dinner so that I can whip up that dough to make hamburger buns. So when I'm thinking this through, I'm not struggling last minute thinking, what are you going to do then, since you're going to be, no, Blaine gets really bent out of shape if he can't have a bun. And so I really have to strategize. Like, okay, I'll just whip up my bread, and the dough doesn't need to rise very long. Like 15 minutes literally when you're making like buns and brat buns and all of that, they don't need to rise very long. So after all these years of making it and doing this, it's just easy. It's so easy. I just whip up the bread, 15 minutes while I prepare the table or something, or might eat outside. Then I'll just get the oven ready and get them into rolls, pop them in. It's done. So I'm writing that down so that I'm successful in it and I know what I'm doing. So it's like, okay, I know what time I have to leave the lake. I know what I've got to do when I get back. I'll throw towels in right when we get back. Showers, they can take showers. I'm going to wait to take my shower when I get after dinner and right before bed. That's like the best feeling in the world. And I have church the next day, so no, I don't. Holy cow, I'm on Thursday. I was already jumping ahead. So it'll be great because even like for Friday, then I'm not going to shower. So that makes it great. So I'm talking about having to go to bed early at 9:30 or 10. And then I kind of go back and I'm like, okay, read about different books. I have different books that I want to read about fasting. So I wrote that I want to read that on the boat. There's a couple things I wanted to read. So, and I also wrote in there that I want to jump into the lake. Normally I don't like to, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to live on the wild side, and I wrote it down. So we'll see. I mean, do I even have waterproof mascara? I don't know. So let's see. Sometimes I'm just into living just freer and carefree and not caring about nothing that is silly. So, my Friday here, I'm also going to wake up when I'm rested, which seems to be about 6:30. So that's when I drink iodine. My iodine, I've showed you that before. I drink it every day and so I drink water in the morning. No coffee, of course. I go outside and I do my devotions with Molly Bear, my dog. And now I'm thinking breakfast. It's Friday. We'll do toast and eggs for the boys. Or French toast. So I can do that for them. Those are options. And then I'm going to, let's see. I had wrote down like, okay, do I want to go to the beach at 2? Because my sister wanted to go. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can run to the beach for a couple hours. I have painting to do, but I can probably go for a couple hours. And I'm like, okay, make my bed, start the laundry and fold. But wait, I've got a Zoom call. So now that throws in a little bit of a wrench. I'm like, okay, that means that I got to go to the lake after 11, after I do a business meeting. So things are starting to get a little bit more crunchier as I start writing things down. I'm even writing a lunch idea for Blaine on the way home because I'll take probably just him to the lake and then his cousins. And then as I start writing, this is what I mean when I'm scripting, I'm starting to get different ideas. So then I'm thinking, okay, I'll get home, I'll shower, I'll sketch things out, I'll start my painting right away, get him in the shower, I'll take a shower really quick, and then I start getting some eurekas as I start like is this a good idea? As I start to find out more and more what I got to do, you'll see that I start to change course. So here I'm thinking I'm going to the lake. And I will try to also, this is another Eureka thing, is that I'm going to film me painting. And then I'll show you after in August so that you can see what that was like for me to prep and get ready for my painting and me actually doing it in real time. So I need to get my August themes here of what I'm doing, and I have all my ideas. I'm just kind of jotting down. Hopefully you can't read my writing. And then I'm thinking about Father's Day. So I've got my dad and my husband. What am I going to do? What is the ideas I have? Then I always write down dinner though, but I go back down to dinner because it's like, okay, those are basics. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do on Friday? What are we going to do? And I decided on Stromboli. We haven't done Stromboli in a long time. I have that on my blog. I hopefully can even do it for you on my stories. Make sure if you don't follow me on IG, do, because I do kind of day-to-day life on there when I can, and including all my dinners and how I, these are my intentions, and I actually live out the plans on Instagram. So vlogging is just a little too tough for my lifestyle, but I definitely can do stories. So catch me over there on my stories to see me live out my plans. So here I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I know what to get my husband, and I think I'm going to get him a kayak, because we all want to do that and start to get involved in that. So I thought, oh my gosh, okay, this is great. This is great. This is great. I know what to get him. Yes. So I'm writing that down, and that came just to my head when I was scripting. That's what I mean. When you're writing, your mind just lights up, and pretty soon you're writing down plans, and your mind thinks you've already done it, and you're already succeeding. Today, I'm succeeding already for tomorrow. It's already in the bag. So I'm writing down different things, just like what I want to eat, because I don't eat grains of any kind. So I'm just writing kind of down what I'll eat. I also don't eat sugar. I'm very, very strict with my diet and just eating extremely clean. So just writing out for me what I plan on doing. So I'm not, what do I eat, myself. So then I'm like, okay, wait. That means I need to go to Shields. That means I need to go out. This is all Friday. The same day I'm planning on doing the beach and painting. And I'm like, you know what? This is too much. I'm going to have to cancel Anna. So I'm also writing on other little stores I'd like to go to tomorrow. And I'm like, you know what? I can't go to the beach. So here I'm changing my plans. I'm writing, nope, it's not going to go. It's not going to work. I'm writing down different things I want to catch my eye. I'll box it if I want it to catch my eye, such as my morning chores, such as what breakfast is, what dinner is. And I even write, get that pizza dough made before I head out to Shields. That can just sit and rise, and I have my husband punch it once or twice. I don't like it to punch it down more than twice because it gets a real yeasty flavor, and that is not good. So I'll be swapping back and forth, and I never even got to my plan B yet. Those are just my ideas were brain dumped, and that was that. But it was in an organized fashion. It was how the course of the day would go, but yet I didn't go back yet and say, nope, I got to cancel Anna, but I will soon. So here on Saturday and Sunday, we're getting down to the brass tacks because this is Father's Day weekend, and I really want it to be amazing for my husband. I've got to get my kids on board. They probably don't even know it's Father's Day this weekend. We've got this family group text, and so group chat, and so I've got to make sure that all my children are on the same. Also, too, everyone's been asking me about my pen holder. It's on my Amazon, and it's just this sticky thing that goes on the back of your book. And quite frankly, I have taken it off of my other plan book and put it on this one. So it lasts a couple planners. So get yourself one because it's an extra loop that's actually really pretty. So here I'm writing down just, what the weather's going to be. Are we going to go boating? He wants to go boating. What do I do on Saturday? Well, I'll tell you what Saturday is. Painting for Jenny. Okay, so now I'm getting down, after my sketches should be done on Friday, Saturday should be where I'm actually sitting down painting. But it doesn't stop there, girls, because after I do my morning routine, which I'm writing down, which is the same as yesterday, however, I'm adding a little bit more fluff to it because I want to make sure that I make like a coffee cake and some bacon because it's the weekend and I like it to be a little bit different than the weekday. And again, I flop back and forth, and this is like for today, which is Thursday. So I'm kind of going back there thinking, okay, you know what? This is when I was like, okay, let's do hamburgers tonight. So this is when I started to get oh, I'm going to make hamburgers. I have it already. It's going to be so easy for dinner tonight, even though, because we're boating all day. And then I like to use my Right Tech brush pens and also Primrosa, I think it's called. And so I use those pens on my, to paint or to marker up my sketches. But I just drew hamburger, and those are my homemade hamburger buns because they are righteous. Okay, they are big and delicious, and I mean, I wish I was diving into that because my family always just freaks out because it's so good. So I also had to go get some more of my pens. I will show you here what I've got. That again is I think that's a Primrosa, yeah. And this is another one of these pens that I actually don't know I can't find out kind of what the brand is, but I saw it on, it's just like they came from China, but they're on Amazon, and they're all like brown and black ink and brown highlighter, so love them. I'll try to link them for you down below. Also, that's our new bag that's coming out it's lined. That fur bag is coming into our store this year, so be checking out for that soon. I cannot wait. So here I'm just I go through I love just, shadowing, do shadow work and all that kind of stuff. And I think right now I am going to go find me a red Right Tech or Primrosa marker, brush letters marker, so I can, brush marker, there we go. So I can do my tomato, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's gotta be perfect. So anyway, such a fun, I mean, when you look at your pages, it's like, you know what? I'm living large. My life is blessed. And that's the point. You are purposefully and intentionally living a fulfilled life. So here we have where I'm writing down, okay, Father's Day prep. I've got Father's Day prep to do. I've got to make sure that I go to the store. I got to make sure that I know what I need to I need to make a quick trip to the store. And that's going to be coming up on Saturday. So here I'm again, going back and forth and looking through my pages. But on these days here, I'm like, okay, I need to stay in and paint, but I also need to go run to the store really quick and grab what I need for the weekend for Father's Day. So that's the only day I'm going to really have time to get in there, do it. It's Saturday. It's the day before. I also forget that I don't have 2-page spread, so I start to run out of room. And you'll see how I kind of correct myself here. But this Saturday I'm writing down make coffee cake with bacon. So when I plan all this out, that's just I know what I'm doing, and I'm just kind of on automatic pilot. And here I'm going to clean up my breakfast, I'm going to go shower, and then I'm going to go do my upstairs chores. So that's what I'm writing down there. And I write down what they are because it's part of my life. It is my life, and it's my intentions and my plans. Each time I write them out, even though it's a routine for me, it still puts in my brain, my memory, my mind that these are my intentions. And so there's just no second guessing it or questioning it. It's what I do. So, and I'm of course I'm going to clean up my fridge really quick, menu plan for the weekend, and then get my list down in my wallet. And then I'm going to have to run and do a quick trip to the store. And this is going to be all more of the early morning before I get my painting done. I also had to go and go back quick to say, oh my gosh, you've got to get your nails done this weekend too, which I know sounds like a really stupid, like, oh, your nails. But yeah, it's been a couple weeks. I have to if I want to even, So I did get that scheduled, and I have it done at 10:15. So that just reconfirmed that I can't do any beach on Friday. So that's how I kind of walked out that whole planning scenario. It's like, oh gosh, you have to do this too. There's no time. So I just changed things around, made an appointment, got things done. And then here's where I'm like, nope, Friday beach is completely done for. It is strictly nails. It's strictly going to the store, getting Father's Day gifts, running errands, getting dinner made in style. It's hanging out at the fire at night and all of that good stuff. I would have to say that a lot of my health things that I do are really habitual now. So it's the iodine, it's walking around barefoot, it's the early morning sun, it's the evening sunset, it's making sure to wear blue blockers, it's eating clean, it's no sugar, it's taking care to notice when I'm stressed and if I need to release. So if I'm feeling stressed with a relationship or with something, right, I don't allow that for longer than 5 minutes. So I'm just like, no, why am I feeling this? How can I release this? And what is really behind the feelings of either someone or even myself? Why do I feel so charged about it? And then I'll be like, you know what, it's probably for this. And then I released it. And it's something to be said about wondering, sometimes everyone actually, off and on, will say stupid stuff that they don't even mean. Yet we'll get supercharged over it and raise our cortisol over it for half a day. So I'm always like, you know what, I'm going to be thinking about this. Why did someone say that? Well, probably for this reason. And I'll even approach whomever and be like, did you have this kind of going on in your day? Are you feeling kind of stressed? And sure enough, it was just that. And I don't want to ruin my health over someone just having kind of a stressed day. You know what I'm saying? So it isn't worth it, girls. Release your emotions. That's all a part. So you could go barefoot all day. You could look at the sunset. You could eat super clean, but you're allowing toxic emotions to ruin your health. And that is something that is probably top priority. And in the Bible, it is God's top priority for you to really listen to not be anxious for anything, to not be worried, to let things go, and to forgive. And so those are the things that I have as top priority for my life. And I'm very conscientious about that now. And it's really becoming habitual for me to pay attention so that I can release that and I'm not letting those chemicals run through my body that are toxic for me and not stopping my body's ability to completely and thoroughly be well and healthy. So I keep on going through. Now, see, that's when I was at the bottom of that June Saturday page, and I was like, snap, I am done. I don't have any more room. But I was able to kind of get it all scrunched in there of how I want to plan my Saturday and finish that up. And that was just that we're going to be, I get all my food prepped and cooked. I'm doing like potato salad and just getting buns made for the cookout on Saturday. So I'm doing another batch. Actually, the good thing about that, before I even go further, is that Friday even, or Thursday, when I'm making my buns for our grill out, I'm making a whole bunch of buns. So those will actually, I'm going to stuff in the freezer, those extra ones, for our Sunday cookout. So for Father's Day. And it just works out so freaking beautiful. So that's how planning your life gets you on top, and yet you are 110%. And that's why you look like you're just some sort of freak show, but you're not. You just have planned so thoroughly that you know what you're doing, you know where you're going, and you're living with full intentions. There is no guessing what you're going to do, what you're going to eat, how you're going to do it. You're writing it out. So my painting should be done on Saturday. I have what I'm doing for lunch. I know when I'm going to bed, blah, blah, blah. So that is now Father's Day. We're going to get up pretty early. Well, but 6:30. I'm going to do my iodine, sit outside. I know what I'm feeding my kids for breakfast and my husband. And we leave at 9:30 to go for church. And we go right after that over to my sister's where she's having a cookout. I'm going to bring my food. I even wrote up at the top with the highlight in green, don't forget your dad's gift, potato salad, bottled water, and homemade hamburger buns. That's what I'm bringing. So I had to make sure that I was on top of that. Then what we're going to do is go boating in the afternoon, and all of my children, adult and the like, will be gather at night for another barbecue, and then he can open up his gift that I know he's going to love. So we're going to boat in the afternoon, and here is where I say I'm not going to shower. I'm going to shower before bed. So when we get back, it's like just getting the food ready and get ready for everyone to come over. Just kind of like throw on some shorts and a tank top and be done. But also, I have a chantilly cake that I was going to make for my husband, so that also is being made on Saturday. This is going to be tough, and I'm not even going to lie to you. This is going to be such my minute-by-minute strategy that it's going to be a little bit nutty. But because I'm pretty good at this, I know I can do it. So that's that. So, and when we get home, I decided we're going to do wings and roasted potatoes. And then I'll have that chantilly cake for my husband. So that's going to be really, really amazing. And then he can open up his great gift. And I kind of want to give all my children the boot around 7. It's like, get the heck out. And then it's just kind of tidying up. Of course, I'm going to do paper plates. I'm going to make things easy for me. And then get to bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock. Because now my week starts again where I have grandbabies 3 days out of the week. And I'm actually even have down that planning for the kids. I will do some of it on Sunday. But it's like when I wake up early Sunday morning is then now when or Monday morning is when I'm going to actually have to do my planning for that week. But I'm kind of excited because I have written a huge bucket list. Sorry, you can't really see. I get so into my planning that in real time that I forgot about you. But I end up moving it, I hope. And so I'm going to have to do some of my planning what I do, but my bucket list in my journal is so handy because I'm like, okay, do we want to make homemade ice cream? Do we want to go to the zoo? What's the weather's going to be? So in the early mornings when I have the babies, I'll just sit and plan while they play outside or something. And I'll get half my week planned out to a T, and that's going to work out just perfect. But I'd have to say, this weekend is kind of a crush. It's like one of those, and it's not normally like that. So, and if I don't plan, then I'm stressed. And I don't like to be stressed, and I like to be planned. I like to know what I'm doing, and I know why I'm doing it. Why am I making hamburger buns? Well, because it's healthy for my family, because I'm using ancient grains, and Blaine has to. So that's my motivation. That's my why. And I love providing that for him because I'm his mother. So it's just one of those things that, you know, I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing it. And I know how I want to love up my husband and all of that. So it's just kind of in the evening where I'm saying, okay, write out some of the plans. Here I go. Okay, Jenny, thanks for remembering. And getting to bed early because 9:30 is usually when I start brushing my teeth, taking off my makeup, and literally taking a nosedive into bed. So I'm talking about too. It's like, okay, don't forget, get all of the clothes in the washer and get it running before bed, and all the wet towels. So making sure I get that done. So that's my freaking week. Now here, what I do like to do, like this was yesterday. I left it went to go see Spider-Man. So fun. And so I wrote down exactly what the movie was like and what I did afterwards because I never did finish that. But it makes that's my story. And so I'm writing down, exactly what happened. So sometimes it's good to go back in a little bit, fill it in and like, this is how it was. It was absolutely amazing. And we had a good time and everything was a success. And stuff like that. And it's just because you're writing your story and how you want to live 100%. And if I'll just fill in some stuff as well and just kind of get some things written in. And that's where I said, make sure you this was for today, make sure you get enough bread dough to make the hamburger buns for Father's Day. So here is where I reminded myself, make enough because I want all that done for me already. So that was a double tasker. So I'm making some for tonight. And then also I'll have plenty for Father's Day for a hamburger cookout again. For my sister will be grilling out. So, and then even for Friday there, I'm just kind of writing out, let's do a campfire at night, kind of hang out by the fire. And I love kind of everyone just talking and having fun by the fire. And I can do some of my sketches. I do that sometimes. I'll do it anywhere. I just have all my sketchbook journals and I write out all my sketches of how I wanted to paint. And that's why I can do that on Friday night as well. So that Saturday I'm even more prepped for getting it all ready and outlined and all of that. So here on Monday, I'm already knowing, plan my week on Monday early because it's crush time. It's crunch. It's a total crunch. So I love putting these pens in here, the ones I always use, and then I just kind of tuck my regular pen in there. And that's it, girl. Thanks for being with me today. Until next time we're together.